Hey friends, hope you're doing well. Today I'd like to show you a new open source alternative for data visualization in Python. And it's kind of similar to Tableau, which is awesome because the tool I'm gonna show you is open source, so you can use it for free. So let's get started. And first, of course, you need to install the package, so the library, which is called PiGWalker. So if you have not installed it, you can do it rather easy via pip, so pip install and then PiGWalker. And if you run it in Jupyter Notebook, you need to put in an exclamation mark in front and then you can run it. Otherwise, use Conda or any other kind of package manager you want. So after doing this, you can import it. So import PiGWalker as PyG. And then you also need a data frame because a data frame is the basis for using PiGWalker. So import pandas as PD. We can run this and we are good to go. And then of course we need some data, and here I'm going to use the Pokemon dataset from GitHub, which is for free. So I can say simply df is equal to, and then pd.read, and the CSV file, CSV, and then I paste in here the URL, and then I just can take a look at the first 5 entries by running this, and then you can see that this is the dataset. Now so far so good. Now in order to use PiGWalker now, the code is really simple, because all we need to do now is simply call pig.walk, and then you put in the data frame. So in this case, it's the Pokemon data frame. But of course, if you would use your own data and load it into the data frame, just refer to this one. So let's actually execute this. Let's run that. And you see that now you have an interactive Tableau in Python. And the reason why they call it Tableau is because it's kind of really similar to Tableau. So if you have a list of dimensions and measures, and you can simply drag and drop those fields inside this view and then create your charts. So for instance, I could say I have various type 1 Pokemons. I can drag them, for instance, on the y-axis here. On the x-axis, sorry, on the x-axis. You can see that now I got the Pokemon. And then I could say I'd like to see here, for instance, the row count. So the amount of Pokemon we have on the y-axis. Drag and drop it. And you see by default we get a bar chart here. Which also has a tooltip if you hover over them. So everything works fine. Also, I could say I'd like to switch this from the bar to a different chart type by simply going up there it is, click on this mark type, and then choose what you want. For instance, I could say I'd like to actually see this as a line, so click on line, and then I'll have a line chart. Or if I want to also include that I get here the legendary, I can drag legendary and drop it, for instance, on the color. So now I have a separation between the normal Pokemon and the legendary Pokemon. And because then I don't want to see the row count, because I know that there are far less legendary Pokemon than normal Pokemon, I can remove this actually. And then I can drag, for instance, here the attack. Drag the attack and the y-axis here. And now I have the attack. And of course, there it doesn't make sense to sum this up. So I can, for instance, change here the aggregation type to, let's say, the mean. And you see that now the mean attack for legendary Pokemon here, for instance, is bigger than for normal Pokemon. Besides ice, this is an exception, but in general that is the truth. And you can also do, for instance, the aggregation is here mean. You can also get rid of the aggregation by simply untick this option, and now the data is not aggregated. But in this case, it looks very, special to me, so I want to aggregate it again. But it just shows you that it's really easy to use, because you can simply drag and drop the fields inside in here and then choose the chart type, add text, for instance, and do all these things which are familiar probably from Tableau or other kind of data visualization tools, and here for free in this open source alternative, which is PiGWalker. So when I first saw this, I was really impressed actually having this. Also, there's a data tab. You can click on the data tab as well to see the data here. You can sort the data if you want. You can change here the type to a specific type. So everything exactly the same as in Tableau. And if you go to Visualizations back, you can create additional chart types here by clicking this new button to have additional sheets or pages. So really, really interesting tool. And as you've seen, it's really not much code because all you do is you import it after installing it and then just call walk on any data frame you want. And that's it. So hopefully you enjoyed it. As always, if you like this, then consider subscribing to the channel, give this video a like, and also try it out yourself. So if you got questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching and hopefully see you in the next video. Until then, best guys.